Wow, did you ever compete in a spelling bee at all, Faith?
No, I did not.
Really?
No, just a lot of like basketball tournaments and games. And
You were a hooper.
yeah, I was spending more time there than I was in practice.
Let me tell you something. A word that got me out one spelling bee, deluxe.
Oh.
You know what I messed up on?
What'd you say?
I forgot the E. So I said DELUX, and they said, "Are you sure?" And I said, "Yeah, absolutely." And they said, "Ding." Anyway, enough about spelling bees. Not the outcome that we were hoping for tonight, but I do know a lot of folks want to hear from Coach Gerlich.
Yes, they do. We will hear from Coach Gerlich, but we also hear from our Ariel Schaefer, who is still up in Kansas City, up next in sports.
KLBK Sports Connection with Faith Douglas.
Good evening and welcome to your KLBK Sports Connection. The Texas Tech Lady Raiders finished up their game at the Big 12 tournament with K-State just a little bit ago, looking to sweep the Wildcats this season. Bramber Scott right off the bat with a three-pointer. TTU leads 6-3 as Katie Farrell watches on from the bench. Bailey Maupin with a three-pointer with 38 seconds left in the half to give Texas Tech the lead, and K-State takes it back right before half, 27-26. And Bree Scott comes back out for another three to cut the lead to just 2, and that's her 1,000th career point tonight. Pretty excited about that one. Then K-State gets a snag with a breakaway, and she gets the and one to seal the deal for Kansas State. Texas Tech falls to Kansas State 78-69. Our Ariel Schaefer up in Kansas City watching the game and able to talk to the team and Krista Gerlich after. Ariel, not the outcome that we wanted for the Lady Raiders, but what are your thoughts on this game and the atmosphere there?
Well, yeah, Faith, they say it's hard to beat a team 3 times, as unfortunately the Lady Raiders would fall to the Kansas State Wildcats in the opening round of the 2023 Big 12 Women's Basketball Tournament here in Kansas City. The Lady Raiders, though, would never give up this entire game, as they would have 9 lead changes, as Tech would play from behind for more than 20 minutes of the game. Senior Bramber Scott once again having another 20-point performance, ending the night with 27 points and a game high of 10 boards. Scott would find a way to cut the deficit to 2 off a deep 3 late in the fourth, scoring her 1,000th career point when her team needed it the most. Scott tied a career high of shooting 5 for 11 from deep, the most made threes in a first-round game since 2018.
All year we've hung our head on, like, fighting hard, never giving up, and so I was just encouraging them to keep fighting hard, and whatever happens, happens, but don't go out not fighting.
You know, I think Bree had every opportunity in her career to give up. And she fought through it. Last year she fought through, only played 8 games, went through another surgery in the summer, and even was still injured this year. But her mindset really changed this year as far as like, I'm going to give you all I have until I can't go anymore.
Well, what's next for the Lady Raiders? They're going to have to wait a couple days to see about the possibility of postseason play, including the WNIT. Now, after the game, head coach Krista Gerlich did mention that she knew from the very beginning of this season that this team had what it takes in order to qualify for the postseason, as she doesn't feel like they played their final game of their 2023 season here in Kansas City. Now, seedings for the NIT tournament, pairings, and even if Texas Tech could be a possible hosting site should be announced Sunday afternoon, the latest Monday morning. Signing off for the Municipal Auditorium in Kansas City, Ariel Schaefer, KLBK Sports.
Thank you, Ariel, for all your coverage for Texas Tech basketball up in Kansas City this week. The Texas Tech men's basketball team, on the other hand, lost yesterday and is officially out of the tournament. Tech finished their season 16-16. They also lost head coach Mark Adams, who has stepped down per Texas Tech Athletics last night following the game, and Fardaws Amack also, who has announced that he is entering the transfer portal. Some prospective candidates for the head coach job have been repetitively mentioned in the last 24 hours, though. North Texas's coach Grant McCaslin, who was at Tech in 2001, Rick Pitino, who is currently at Iona and is also a former coach on was a former coach on 2 national championship teams. Sean Miller, who's at Xavier currently, and Will Wade, former LSU head coach. At South Plains College girls basketball taking on Hill today at the NJCAA Region 5 tournament, looking to advance to the semifinals. Celia Sumbane gets to the rim for SPC and will get the bucket. Then down and back, and Jennifer Silva gets the rebound and gets the putback as well. SBC leads at half. And then Martina Sizik dribbles down, and she will find herself open and decides to put one in her defender's eye for the 3. South Plains takes downhill 59-50, and they advance to the semifinal round to play McLennan at 7 p.m. on Friday night. And we will have coverage of that game tomorrow night as well, see if SBC makes it to that final game.
All right, good try from the Lady Raiders tonight.
Yes.
So NIT, still that's still a possibility
Yep,
as well.
it is
so.
possible. We'll find out Sunday for sure.
All right, thanks, Faith. We'll be right back.